Hello and welcome to Focus Today. I am Luisa Kusnandar with you for the next 1 hour. We will be giving you the latest update of news from Indonesia and around the world. Let's start with our first report. And we shall begin Focus Today with our segment of Asean Ministerial Meeting. ASEAN Ministerial Meeting and related meetings. And to know more about the ongoing event, let's join with Audrey Utoyo at our mini studio in Wisma BNI 46. Audrey.
Hello, Luisa. It is so great to see you today. We are currently at the Wisma BNI 46, in which the 56th ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting have been commencing today. There has been a lot of things that's been going on since yesterday and today, and also we are looking forward to the deliverables of these meetings. Now, right into the first report, the second day of the 56th ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting ended with the signing of a TAC with Saudi Arabia. Let's head over to TVI World reporter Shafira Junior, who has more.
The second day of the 56th AMM closed with the signing of TAC with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia also became the 51st nation to accede to TAC. This morning, the second day of 56th AMM started with a retreat session, with the retreat session addressing efforts done by Indonesia in nearly 7 months, especially on engagements with all stakeholders and on facilitating delivery of humanitarian assistance based on the principle of no one left behind. From the retreat session, Indonesia's Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the current priority of ASEAN is the implementation of the 5-point consensus. There will be ASEAN post-ministerial conference on Tuesday with a number of countries, with the first post-ministerial conference will be with India that will start around 8:30 a.m. Western Indonesian time and followed with post-ministerial conference with other countries. From the venue of the 56th AMM, Safira Junior and camera person Arianto reporting for TVI World.
Thank you, Shafira Junior, for your report. In the meantime, on the second day of the AMM, Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi said that the issue of Myanmar tops the discussion. ASEAN's priority is the implementation of the 5 points of consensus.
Minister Retno Marsudi hoped access for ASEAN Coordinating Center for Humanitarian Assistance on Disaster Management, or AHA Center, to reach those in need of the assistance will be further granted, including in Makwe and Sagai. She said on ASEAN.
The two main issues discussed in the retreat at 56 AMM were a review of implementation of the 5-point consensus and building an inclusive regional architecture. Indonesia's Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed conclusion of the retreat session.
Beberapa hal yang dapat saya sampaikan dari hasil pertemuan tadi adalah, pertama, AMS ASEAN Member State solid memberikan dukungan dan apresiasi terhadap apa yang dilakukan oleh Ketua ASEAN. Yang kedua, unity ditekankan oleh semua negara anggota. Yang ketiga, 5-point konsensus masih menjadi main reference. Inisiatif lain harus mendukung implementasi 5-point of consensus dan harus inline dengan 5-point of consensus. Keempat, prioritas ASEAN saat ini adalah implementasi 5-point consensus.
Minister Retno added ASEAN member countries appreciated the intensive and extensive engagements that have been carried out by Indonesia as chair during these 7 months.
Furthermore, on the retreat session today, Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi also mentioned her hope access for the AHA Center to reach those in need of assistance that will be further granted, including in Makwai and Sagay.
Minister Retno Marsudi hoped access for ASEAN Coordinating Center for Humanitarian Assistance on Disaster Management or AHA Center to reach those in need of the assistance will be further granted, including in Makwai and Sagay. She said on ASEAN centrality, ASEAN must remain in the driver's seat in navigating current and future geopolitical challenges, including through East Asia Summit and ASEAN Regional Forum. EAS and ARF are very important inclusive platforms where all players in the region sit and talk. ASEAN believes in inclusivity, in dialogue, and win-win collaborations. As ASEAN Regional Forum also marks the 30th year of its establishment and maintaining confidence-building measures, ARF should also focus on preventive diplomacy.
In the meantime, Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi conveyed Indonesia's proposal to initiate ASEAN Concord 4 to become the main reference for ASEAN post-2025 vision. The core elements of Concord 4 will be further discussed to be adopted at the 43rd ASEAN Summit. ASEAN member states welcomed the initiative. As of ASEAN's external relations, here are what ASEAN foreign ministers agreed on. The first one, the initiative on inter-secretariat cooperation between ASEAN Pacific Island Forum, or PIF, as well as ASEAN Indian Ocean Rim Association. The second would be the establishment of ASEAN as well as the U.S. Center. The third, application of South Africa and Morocco as ASEAN sectoral dialogue partners. ASEAN GCC Summit in Riyadh later on in October. The meetings of the UN General Assembly in September, the meetings of the CELAC foreign ministers in September, as well as the ASEAN-Japan Summit this September. Malaysian Foreign Minister Samri Abdul Kadir has suggested that ASEAN member countries must give trust to Indonesia in order to take care of the problems in Myanmar.
Malaysian Foreign Minister Samri Abdul Kadir said upon attending the 56th meeting on Tuesday that ASEAN has agreed on Indonesia's ASEAN chairmanship this year, meaning that any problems in the region will be handled by Indonesia. According to Samri, ASEAN member countries should not take overlapping actions because such attitude will not produce result as desired. Samri also said that ASEAN's commitment has remained completely firm, namely involving all members either in all forms of resolution or approach related to the Myanmar crisis. On the occasion, Samri also described the 5-point consensus as the approach ASEAN has agreed to take on Myanmar. He said Indonesia has taken various efforts by holding a number of talks on the issue. Samri's statement was delivered following the pros and cons of Thailand holding an informal meeting by inviting the Myanmar junta on June 19th. Thailand has been criticized for its maneuver, which is assumed to have so far damaged the approach by ASEAN, which is attempting to unite in handling the Myanmar crisis.
And that is it for today's report. Luisa, we can see that there are already progress that are happening and commencing today, such as an agreement and signing of the TAC, as well as furthermore cooperation with other ASEAN member states. Well, we hope that this conference and summit can be great and later on strengthen the cooperation between ASEAN member countries. And now back to you, Luisa Kusnandar, in the studio.
Audrey Utoyo, thank you so much for your report from Wisma BNI 46 from the TVRI World's mini studio. Thank you.